and doing alcohol. I don't see anybody messing with Ozzy Osbourne. He's what, smoking weed, doing heroin, smoking coke. I don't see anybody messing with him. When you look at all these major movie stars, they can make all the mistakes in the world and nobody ever tries to walk off with their kids. You know? When you look at these people that are rich and famous, like Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. And Bobby Brown got caught, you know, drinking, driving, and doing crack cocaine. But nobody ever tried to walk off with Christy, little Christy, little Bobby Christina. See, people can get away with whatever they want as long as they have money. But if you're poor, CPS will fraud the state. They will take money out of the poor taxpayers' dollars. And that's why taxpayers hate people that are poor, because they feel like, hey, I'm working hard and I'm paying for this person. But you don't realize that a lot of times we are forced, we are pushed, we are harassed, we are bothered to do these things that cost the taxpayers' dollars. It doesn't have to be that way, but they make it that way because they will not leave people alone. And it's like, I've never put a child in danger. I've always been careful. I've always been there for children. I adore children. I worship children. And I can't even worship my own children. I can't even be a parent and watch my son grow up and be there for him. I had to pretty much hide him for 3 years. What I did was, every time CPS came to my house, I had to pay a babysitter to watch him. That's money I could have took to do something with him. But no, I didn't want him to get involved with this. So I made a point of not having him around the house. I send him off to private schools, paying $650 a month just to keep CPS away. And, you know, the minute I put him in public school, there's the harassment. They take one look at him and I'm being harassed. I don't know if anybody out there is listening to me, but I want you to know I don't want anybody out there to suffer. And they always make the poor people suffer. If you're not making $5,000 a month, you're going to suffer. But if I was making $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month, believe me, I would find a way to keep CPS away. For one, I would put my kids in private school. For two, I would hire a really good lawyer. For three, I would keep a restraining order away from my house. Because for one, I don't want my house tainted with these people's company. I mean, I don't believe in these people. I don't trust these people. And the reason I don't trust them, because so many times they have lied to me. They put my lawyer, first lawyer I ever had, Adam Shapiro and Virginia Marshall. They both told me, sign the papers. It took me 4 freaking days to sign. My husband signed right away. The reason he did that was because Maureen McKee smiled in his face and said, just 6 months. And at the same time, he's paying his sister over $80 for each day that she was due in the court. Every time she took a day off from court meant that she was losing valuable time, like vacation time. She was losing a day's worth of pay. We were paying her, you know, $80. I know that's not a lot to a lot of you people that are rich, but $80 is a lot to us. You know, we're handing Ann, his sister, $80 for every time she took to come to court to testify, because she wasn't going to do it for free. And it's like, wow, you know, we can't keep paying this every single week. CPS puts those days in front of you just to take them away. And I think they do it to aggravate people. And they're calling me crazy. That's what they're saying. But the thing is, what's crazy about it is, if you think I'm so crazy, why won't you have those people that are willing to come to court? Why is it that every time you switch me over to a new lawyer, of course this lawyer just quit, okay? Now, I have the same list, and this lawyer will not even turn in the paperwork. And it's like, the reason I'm asking him to, and the reason I raise my hand in court quite often, and the reason I shout it out now, is because I'm like, hey, the people that made those false accusations, why won't you have them come to court? They're trying to terminate my rights as a parent. They're saying, oh, you're not good enough to be a parent. We're going to terminate your rights. Well, I got one thing for you, for CPS. I ain't signing a goddamn thing. I ain't signing not one piece of paper. So if you're going to take my kids away from me, you're taking them. You're kidnapping them. You're walking off with my kids. And I want my kids to know, Sir Justin, John Luke, Ross, All Done Fire, Aubin Jr., your mom did not give you up. They took you away from me. They kidnapped you from my house. It was not my choice. And little Lola Rain, Justina Loganberry, Fire, Aubin, I did not want to not be with you. I love you. I used to tell you I loved you every single day, every morning, every night. I took joy in taking you to school. I loved seeing the excitement on your face when you were going to school and you were going to be with your friends. The same thing for you, sir. You know, that's why I put you in dance classes. That's why we go to movies together. That's why I would take you to the beach every day, just to watch you run up and down the beach, you know, pick up rocks out of the sand. That was my joy, was having a family. It gave me a reason to have Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving and birthdays and barbecues and dances. It gave me great joy. And I want you to know I love you. And I will spend the rest of my life talking about you. But I cannot do what CPS wants me to do, and that's be a slave to them. Because what they want to do is put me on drugs. Drugs like Haldol, Cogentin, Tegretol, lithium, Lithobid. And what that will do will shorten my life, and it will kill your mother. Your mother won't be here for you if I allow them to control me in that way. With the constant stress that they add into my life, I'm bigger than I've ever been in my whole entire life. I used to be about half the size before they started harassing me and following me around like I am a criminal. I've never felt like such a criminal in my life, you know? And now I understand why nobody in my family has respect for the law. Now I'm understanding why they did what they did, you know? But I still do not want to do what they have done. I don't want to do that because I know that that's not the right thing to do. And I don't want to do what they did. But I don't know how to fight CPS because nobody will fight with me. It's like everybody is in Cahootsville because the money is too fat and it's a good way of taking taxpayers' dollars. Instead of taking the money and educating our children and spending that money towards smaller classes for children, CPS is misusing the money from the United States of America to harass people, to badger them, to go to therapy when they don't need it. Those therapists are making $175 an hour. Those psychologists that we are forced to see is making $195 an hour. They come and they tell us point blank, if you want your kids, you're going to have to go. It's not my choice to go. I'd much rather go to church and donate a couple bucks, and it's not going to cost you taxpayers $1. I'd rather do that. To me, going to church and being around a minister and going to church group isn't going to cost the taxpayers anything. That money that they're forcing by making people do all of this, and they're forcing people to do this. They're not giving anybody a choice. When our children are gone to school, They're telling us what to do